It's time for the Giz Wiz with Mad's maddest writer, Dick DeBartolo. This is episode 1822, recorded Thursday, March 11th, 2021. A very light show. On this episode of the Giz Wiz, we have a self-cleaning dog brush, a rechargeable LED necktie, a notebook that you can use forever, and your videos. All next on the Giz Wiz.
It's the same old show with Dickie D and OMG chat on your PC. It's time for the Giz Wiz because gadgets are his business. They've got a gizmo sickness, geek disease, under pathology, rows and rows of USBs, glowing LEDs. Get ready for the Giz Wiz now.
Now, and here he is, the gadget maniac, Dick DeBartolo. How you doing, Dickie D?
I'm doing good. Oh, that's an LED rechargeable neck light.
Oh.
So if you're looking for a rechargeable necktie, that's
you're trying to brighten up the office.
Away.
You're going to have to, keep looking.
What office? What office?
Right, I guess so. Know. Maybe, that might work for a Zoom call. You have a necktie that helps brighten up your video. That would make sense.
I like it. I think I have to find these two college kids. I think they had come up with a tie. I have it in the warehouse. It had a little bladder in the back. So you could actually, if you're going to have a terrible hard day, I believe you could put like 3 ounces of liquor in it.
I was sent this. This was, some fans, I guess, sent it to me. Yeah, it was a flask necktie.
Oh, yes, flash necktie. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and it had a little bladder. When you fill it up, though, the tie does look very plump. It kind of expands in such a way that's like.
So your tie looks a little fat. Oh yeah, hang on there. Does it look better now?
It's an executive fat tie. You have to pay extra for these. Yes. So any new news?
Well, you know what? I had a very interesting Amazon experience, and then I put it online, and others have had it too. So I ordered, and it's one of the gadgets tonight. A way to mount a smartphone on the windshield, inside the windshield of my boat. And I was very excited to get it, and I had ordered it by 7 at night. And here in the city, you can have it the next morning. It's unbelievable.
Oh wow!
And so Amazon rings the bell, and the guy hands me an envelope, and I'm thinking, what?
Like, so, not just the padded the
padded envelope, but like it's just it weighs nothing. So while he's dropping other stuff up, I cut it open and I go, "Sir, this is an empty envelope." And he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I can only deliver stuff."
Right. This is way beyond my department. Yes, I have no idea what to do at this moment.
Exactly. So I called Amazon and gave him the thing that I've been buying forever, and that in the past 3 months I bought 330 gadgets. And I said, I just got an empty envelope. And the man said, unfortunately, the past couple of weeks, this is not an unusual occurrence. He said, we will replace it immediately, but it's going to be tomorrow morning before we get the replacement. And he said,
which is like a 1 day shipping still. Like,
yes. I know, exactly. And he said, if the other one shows up, just tell them you don't want it. But I knew the other one wasn't going to show up because the envelope already registered it as a delivered.
Hi, I'm the person who stole this from you, and I made sure to write down a note of your address just in case I felt guilty later.
My guess is maybe someone's there and they go, "Oh, this looks really nice."
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I can use this on my truck or my car.
Right. I'm thinking, what person in the timeline knows that the next person down the line, not timeline, pipeline, is going to know? They're not going to know how much this thing should weigh or how big it should be. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I posted the story online, and Mike, a fan in California, said in the past 30 days he's gotten 2 empty boxes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Have you never,
Not
have never
me.
got,
Not yet.
no.
Apparently the
Chat
stuff
room?
I order isn't nice enough to steal.
Anybody in the chat room get empty envelopes?
That's so crazy.
Oh, and the other funny Amazon story. I go out to throw away some garbage, and between two garbage cans, there's an Amazon envelope.
Mm-hmm.
And I pick it up, and it's, unopened, and there's something in it. So I bring it in and I drop it. We have a little table in the hallway. And someone is coming down the stairs, and I said, are you looking for an Amazon package? And she said, yes. I said, it was out between the garbage pails. And she said, oh, I know. They sent me a photo of where it is. And she showed me, and it was a picture of the Amazon envelope between two garbage cans.
Oh my gosh. Was it trash
funny?
day too? Would that have been picked up?
No, it wasn't trash day. But I thought that was so funny.
What on earth?
I know. Yeah, one day you'll open it up and it'll say, wait a minute, this is a picture of a park. Oh yeah, no one was around. I threw it in Riverside Park. It's near the big tree.
It's really difficult to make that left turn on that road. So I just decided to leave it at the end of the block. And you can walk down there and pick it up, I'm sure. That's crazy.
Isn't that very funny? And she seemed like it was, maybe, I don't know, maybe he called her and she said, I'm not home, put it between the garbage. I don't know. It's very funny.
Knowing Amazon, there's no possible way that the deliverer took the extra step to make a phone call.
That's true.
That's funny.
You're true. I like that app too. Do you have the app now? Scooter X, I like the app that says that the driver is 6 blocks away.
Yeah, that's a nice feature that you can tell it's, and it'll show it on a map where I am. It'll show, that's fantastic that it has that feature. So last week we were discussing the mask mandate here in Texas going away.
Oh yes.
So I wanted to give you a little update because I've braved the outside world and went out to see what was going on. So last week I told you guys that there were some stores that were not going to require it. Like H-E-B was an example that I used as a store that wasn't going to require it. And literally an hour or two after I said that, they came out with, we are going to keep masks in our store. And almost every store, so, it's only been yesterday and today, but
we should fill people in who missed last week's show, is that as of yesterday in Texas, it's up to the store to decide.
Right. There was no state law that is requiring really anything. I mean, there's definitely some exceptions, but especially if an area starts to spike and if there's more than 15%, hospital bed usage and that sort of stuff. But there's not a store that is not allowed to be open, and masks are no longer mandated by the state. And also, cities and counties cannot write their own legislation to enact above the state. The state is like, you cannot. The only group that can really say what happens in terms of masks is the store themselves. So if when you walk onto their private property, they can tell you that they will mandate a mask. So I was, obviously very curious which stores are going to just say, masks are not required, and also what are people going to do. So I went to a few stores, went to Home Depot, Walmart, Kroger, and all of those stores, Target, all of them still require masks. So every single one of them still had the signs up, masks are required, and so it was really no big change. I did see a few people, even though there's a sign outside of the store, there's still a few people inside of the store that are not wearing masks. And what is very interesting to me is that, first off, it's only about maybe 3% of people. Like it's a very small, very, very small amount of people. The other thing is that almost all of them look like the older types of people. They all seem like 55 years and older. Which my speculation is that they must already have their vaccines. Like that's the only thing that I can think of. Otherwise, it's just like compounded. Like I just don't understand. If that's not the case, like I don't understand. There was like one or two families that I saw that just didn't have them on at all, and they weren't, above 50. They were just, the whole family just didn't care. But that is super. Like that was every. I can think of one person that I saw that was not in like the 55 and older group that wasn't wearing a mask, which is just like crazy to me.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So and that's just my own personal, walking around to a few stores and keeping my eye out. So obviously it's not.
And on the streets, did you notice people still wore masks?
I haven't.
Because
the area I'm in doesn't really have a lot of street traffic.
Oh yeah, it's mainly.
And then the people who are on the street, there's just no one around, so they tend to, if just off of memory, I didn't really keep my eye out on that one. But mostly people, once they walk outside, they take them off. So yeah. So anyway, there's the update of what's been going on around here. I really cannot think of a main store that you would walk into. Starbucks has said that they require it. Just any main, brand name store, it seems like they are all keeping the mask stuff going on. So it would have to be like a small local store run by a family that also does not care about masks to not keep their sign up and whatnot. And people are asking about restaurants. I haven't been to a restaurant yet since Wednesday. And so, yeah, I don't really have anything to say about that.
Okay.
Yeah. But but restaurants have been open for months and months here in Texas. And so I assume, I would just assume from what I saw that it's probably mostly nothing has changed. So, yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. Okay. Oh, we're just still wishing a happy birthday to Ryan, who's someone special in the chat room.
Perfect.
Saturday, Al Jaffe, who does the Mad Fold-In, will be 100.
Wow. Whoa.
Now, the thing is, he stopped working last year.
Yeah.
He did his final fold-in.
I would like to be working at 99. That's 99. A goal that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? Yeah. I was at a little get-together with him at Saudi's, like the famous showbiz restaurant, I guess 9 years ago or so. And people from the Guinness Book of World Records was there. And Al Jaffe is in the Guinness Book of World Records as the longest working cartoonist.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Yes, something like 90 years. I don't know when he started selling his first cartoons, when he was a teenager or something, but it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, before long, we may be in the Guinness Book of Records.
Longest running podcast. Who knows?
Podcast.
There's definitely a few folks that are probably ahead of us in that list. But yeah.
What is your T-shirt?
This is a book this is a book series. It is the Unsold book series, like soul, not like it's not a sold thing. It's like you don't have a soul. Anyway, it's a book series that is available on Amazon. It's from kind of a smaller author, and Audible. Sometimes I swear that this is what Audible does, is they go out and they find authors that are trending, that they know are selling great ebooks and that aren't really published, and they go, we're going to make an audiobook for you on your behalf and sell it and give you a cut of it because we can tell that your stuff is good. But yeah, so anyway, that's it's the Unsold series. I guess it's the Cradle timeline. There's, I think, at the moment 8 books in the series by I think is it Will Wright, I believe, is the author. Oops, I am not typing anywhere. Will Wright. If that's incorrect, here we are. Yeah, I really hope that's right. But anyway, it's a book series that I absolutely love, and that is absolutely incredible. Here it is, the Unsold Cradle Book 1.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and there's a ton in this series. Let's see, the complete series. There we go. Yeah, this is the 8th. So as you can see, that's the little logo I'm wearing on my shirt. That's the 8th book.
Oh yeah, wow.
Is that? So there you go.
Yeah,
Love that series.
nice. Audible asked if they could make an 8-track version of my book, Good Days and Mad, but I thought I wasn't ready for that kind of fame yet.
Right.
So I turned them down.
Right. And it doesn't. Is there any? It's hard to do images. Isn't there images in that Good Days?
Good Days and Mad, just Alfred. I don't know.
Alfred. Okay.
Anyway, should we jump into
Let's
gadget
jump
land?
into some gadgets.
Okay, gadget number 1 right here.
All right, so we're on the Hudson River, and this is why we're here. Okay, so I have a modem here, and there's a camera in the back window, but the signal keeps going out. It's Verizon, and that alone says a lot. Okay, but they do have some hindrances because the docks keep moving around, and the cable keeps breaking. So I thought I would try something called Alfred Cam, where you use an old phone as a camera, and I need a way to mount it in here. So I bought the IoT smartphone car mount. Okay, it can go on a dashboard or a windshield, and this is version 5, and hopefully I'm going to stick it on the front windshield. And what's nice about Alfred Camera is you can switch between the front and the back camera. All right, so, and you know, it's like 32 degrees down here, so, all right, this is what holds the camera in place, and that's the mounting bracket there, and I don't know what all that stuff is. And the instructions. All right. Easy one touch. Remove before use. Suction cup, remove before use. All right. And, all right, so I'll show you. So this goes on the windshield. And all right, so this, okay, so you can ratchet that up. And this is version 5, which now has a longer arm, okay? It has a bigger pad in the back. And strangely, I had put version 4 in my cart, and then just as I was clicking by, I saw there's a newer version of this. So I went down to that, and this has a bigger pad, a longer extension. They said the adhesive is better. And the funny thing is, the older version, version 4, is also the same price. They're about $25, okay? So whether you buy version 4 or version 5, they're the same price. So you might as well get the newest one. So that's going to go. All right, so do we dare just stick it on? What I'm going to do is I'll read a little bit, and then we can edit out anything here. Oh, okay. Assemble the mount, select the location. All right, so I cleaned the windows, the windshield. I'm going to stick this on. All right, you know what? I'm just going to do it. It's sort of just stuck there. We're just going to see what's going to happen now. Oh, you know, the windshield faces in. Oh, okay. But this, I can turn, all right? So even though the windshield's slanted this way, but this is good. So did I lock it? I guess I did lock it. And now I'm going to get my camera. All right. And let me see, I guess this can go sideways. And we're going to open that up. And we're going to put that in. Okay, I'm on the boat now.
24/7, I need power.
And this thing is staying up there, but the way, can you see, you feel, okay.
Whoa, whoa.
Unfortunately, the camera was facing the door because the door was open, but in the reflection, you can just see a little bit of how the boat was being thrown. Can you see that? Even in the reflection,
that the phone's
you can see how bad the wave was. Oh my gosh. I probably couldn't have shown the other video because I was cursing all the way through it. My God, that was the biggest wave ever. I couldn't turn the camera on. I was like being thrown around the cabin. Anyway, that thing stayed up. I'm at home. The LG G6 is on the boat. And a little bit of the bracket shows there. And then I'm going to go into change cameras. And it's a little pixelated, but you know what? I can see the inside of my boat, which is a shambles. And I can see through the back window. I can see my outboard. So this is really great.
That's nice.
Yeah, do you know about Alfred Cam?
I had never heard of it.
I thought everybody did. Alfred Cam, it's free with ads. I paid the $29 a year to have the actually, surprisingly, it's still running. There. Oh, my camera's washing it out, but I'm still looking at my boat. You take an old camera and you download the app on both, and then you pick which phone is the camera and which phone is the viewer. And that's it. If you're using it within your house, it just uses Wi-Fi. The boat on the phone that I used, I put Google Fi on it because Verizon is so unreliable. And I think they have 5 million people using it. It's pretty reliable.
That's interesting. That's
you
crazy.
can, and I love the fact you can switch between the front and the rear camera. And I think that, and rather recently, they've added using your computer as a viewer. So that was great.
That is awesome. Yeah. So you just have an extra camera lying around.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you have an old phone around and you just want to play, just do the free version. You don't care if there are ads or not, just so you can see if it works or not the way you want it. Google Fi, Mr. Dave said, how much is Google Fi? Is the basic price is $20, which I believe is unlimited text and phone calls. And then each gigabyte is $10. And when you get to 6 gigabytes, it becomes free after that. So in other words, your bill will never be more than $80. Okay. But I just turn Alfred. And the great thing is in Alfred Cam, I just go there and say, turn on the LG6, and it turns it on, and I look around, and then I shut it off again. So it's been down there about 5 days, and I've used like 20% of 1 gigabyte.
Interesting. So I didn't realize it wasn't always sending. That's nice that you can decide like, hey, I'm obviously not viewing it right now, so don't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Only if you're using a pacer, if you're using data to send a signal. Right. But at home, just leave it on 24/7.
Right. That is awesome. And then that mount looks fantastic.
That mount is really nice. You know, I know nothing about, I've never mounted anything on my windshield, but It seems very well built, and is it still $25? Sometimes
Yeah, $25, and right
after-
now there's a 10% off coupon. So
Oh,
you get
that's very good.
$2
So 22, about 20, about
off.
22.50. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a very long reach,
Yeah.
and so far. Oh, and I went down to each day just to check, and the mount, even with those ridiculous wakes, it has not fallen off. And the nice little thing is there's a little clip in the back with a magnet where you can hook the cable that you plug into the phone if you're going to have it charging all the time. And that cable, if you remove the phone, that cable magnetically sticks to the back of the mount. So you don't have to go around and say where did that cable go? Did it fall under the dashboard? So it's very well worked out. And right now it's $22.50.
That's good. That's great. People who have cars, listen up.
And boats.
And boats.
Or anything with a windshield.
Right.
Okay, and now on to the self-cleaning pet hair brush.
Ooh.
It's the pet hair removal brush, fur and lint removal brush with self-cleaning base, double-sided, for furniture, couch, clothing, etc. If only there was a little dog. If we had a dog that we could use this on, we could actually brush a dog. And wait a minute, are you volunteering for this? Well, wait a minute. Wow, what is that? What is that? Yeah. Okay, well, just stay 1 minute. Charlie, come here. Just stay. I'm just going to brush. Oh, look at how, oh boy, Charlie, this works very well. Okay. Well, this is very good, Charlie. Hang on. Just a little bit more. Yeah. I know. Okay, it's getting a little bit intense. It's making your hair look good, though, Charlie. Okay, down there. This is very good, Charlie. Don't you think? Okay. All right, so here's very thin hair. I didn't get a ton of it. There's the clean side, Charlie hair side, and now it's going to clean itself. Okay? We put it in, and they're still cleaning. What? It got some of it out, but not near the edge. And then we can see how much we got out because the end opens. This is ridiculous. Look it put it all, took all the hair from the brush and put it at the end here. All right. And there. So, you know what? No. No. It was cheap, like $9. But you get what you pay for. Does it even have a name on it? I don't even know. All right, so we're doing a little add-on because Dennis thought maybe not so much for dogs, but for things like, Charlie sleeps on the bed. So what I'm doing is I'm sweeping the bed here. And you know what? This is just rearranging the hair.
Sometimes how I feel mopping is, this is just rearranging the dirt.
Yes.
It's good that we picked the day that the cleaning man isn't coming. Probably because I fired him a year ago.
Because he used these
All
types
right,
of...
so now...
No coming in with COVID.
You know what? This is way easy, just a vacuum. All right, but I got a lot of stuff, okay? That's a better test. Let me see the other side. So I just picked up stuff, obviously, on the side. I brushed, and magically, I put it in, and then magically, it moves everything to the very side. Let's look and see if anything went to the bottom. No, you see what it does? It catches everything at the bottom. Inside there is
In reality, I don't know how it
more
can
stuff
work.
like the brush to catch it, but it just catches it at the bottom of that, and it doesn't fall into the bin.
You do better with a vacuum.
You do better with a vacuum, unless you have a super hairy dog. Then it might work. That's it. This goes into Dick's Crappy Corner. Okay, bye.
That felt like a crappy corner gadget. It really did.
Yeah. The reason I say I don't know how it would work is inside the container is more fiber like the brush, so that as you pull it out, and a lot of people complain, when I first took it out of the box the very first time, I could not get it out.
Yeah.
I struggled because it's so tight. That's why it's supposed to pull all the hair off, because it's very tight in there. But the hair just comes off and sticks inside the thing.
Yeah. Now, even if it did work, wouldn't all the hair just be stuck in the middle?
Yes, exactly. I don't. That's why I suddenly realized, how could this possibly work?
Unless
there's
the
nothing
next
that
time
makes
you
it
put it
fall.
in, then it pushes it to the end. That doesn't make. I don't.
No.
Yeah. No.
And anyway, it's $9. Save you money.
Yeah. And then I was about to say well, I guess not. But I was going to say Scooter X is going to find it for 5 cents here, and just a little bit. Yeah, that does not look like a great product. It looks like maybe it'd be fine for the initial, but then that auto, like, just use your fingers to swipe that stuff off.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Steve said you need a brush to clean the brush after you use the brush.
Right. Okay.
All right, so that was a piece of crap, but something. So we'll redeem ourselves with this.
Ooh.
It's time for What the Heck Is It? Ta-da! Any idea, Dennis Wonderland?
No idea whatsoever.
Okay, it is the ta-da! The LED reading light, the Taku. That sound like what it is? Taku.
Takui?
Yeah, maybe Takui.
Anyway, I thought this was kind of clever. I mean, reading lights have been around a while, but this one is different in as much as it's rechargeable, and it has 3 different brightness adjustments. So you can do white light, and let me just see, did it come charged? Oh, okay. It's going to be hard. Maybe the bulb won't burn the camera out. Okay, so that must be white. That's brighter, and that's brightest, and it'll probably go back to low. Yeah. And now on this side, oh, you see? That went to warm white. I don't know if the camera's going to let you see that. Warm white, warmer white, and then the brightest of the warm lights. And then the third one is kind of not a white light as white as the other.
So it's
I think
3,000 K.
it's really clever, okay?
That's
So
expensive.
K.
this is for when you're reading in bed. Let me just turn this light out over here. And, let me just see how you would adjust this. If you're laying in bed, this is good. This is very good. Let me see if I can get this one bright. Oh, this is great. I like this a lot. All right. I forgot what I paid for it, so we're going to go to the computer. And I guess it is the Taku, Takkui LED neck reading light. Hands-free, and it's 1,000 milliamp battery in there. It suddenly dawned on me, we should try it reading in bed, okay? So I like this sort of warm temperature. I'm at medium, as you recall from just a few minutes ago. You can pick the temperature, and then you can pick the brightness, okay? So I like it a little bit brighter like that, and then a little bit brighter like that. And this is good. Is this good for you? Okay, great.
That's so interesting. I like that.
And it was, I think I sent you a link. I think it was,
Cheap.
oh yeah, it's $14.
Yeah. With the $2 savings. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
That, of course, that wasn't there when I bought it because
Right.
they only do that after I buy. So they go, oh, Dick bought it. Reduce the price.
I swear there's like some email alert. A high-profile buyer just purchased your order. Why don't you put a coupon on it to convert sales?
No, I like it. So it's the yellowish is 3,000K and the warmer
that's
white is
expensive.
4,000K.
Man.
And then the white is 6,000K. And then 3 levels of brightness after that.
That is cool. That's really, really cool. And I think that's. I would say that this is probably a more uniform color and brightness than normally the book attached reading lights. That's kind of an issue I have with those, is that they tend to spot. They make kind of a big spot on the page, and it's like,
Oh, yes. Well, this, you have the light coming from both sides.
right.
And highly bendable, so you can twist it any way you want. Fully rechargeable. I think they said, for some reason, I think the description is wrong. I think it says up to 40 hours unless you use only one side. But I found no way to light up just one of the LEDs on one side.
You just break it off. You just
Tape
snap
it
right
over.
up. Yeah, exactly. Right. Close one eye, and
Yeah, that's it.
there you
That's
go.
it. That's it.
Okay. From
anyway,
the great brand Teiku.
Or Teiku. The dentist thinks it's Teikui because of the
When you
I
search
at
for
the
that
end.
brand, not even Amazon thinks that you know what you're talking about. They say, "Did you mean
Oh,
something else?
that's very funny.
You sure you mean to write that?"
That's
Okie
very
dokie.
funny.
That's pretty good.
Anyway, yeah.
With that,
And that
let's move on
brings us
to.
to
Ooh,
You don't need it, but you might want it at Chad's Crappy Corner. Get it.
get it. It is time for another productivity gadget. And tell me if you remember this brand, Rocketbook. Rocketbook.
Rocketbook.
I think that we've covered a
It
gadget
sounds
from them
vaguely
in the past.
familiar.
Okay, well, I recorded a video about it, so let's
okay.
check out the video. Hey Diggities, so we are back with another productivity gadget, and this week's gadget is Rocketbook. And this is one of those gadgets that I've kind of seen throughout the years. It's kind of been floating around, but I never really got to do a hands-on with it. So I'm a little bit curious about how it works and really what it does. And it basically merges the idea of a digital notepad with a physical book. And so you can kind of see just on the packaging, the endlessly reusable smart notebook, and it works with a whole bunch of different apps. And there you got both app stores on the back, and it has a nice little display about sort of everything that it does. So let's get this baby unpacked, install the app, and check it out. Okay, so I got the Rocketbook unpackaged, and here is what it looks like. You have a few different pages inside of here. You have front and back, I assume, because you have a QR code on both sides. And also there is just a little bit of, hey, you're using a Rocketbook right here. So you got the book itself, plastic thing on the top. You have a microfiber cloth with the Rocketbook logo. You also have a erasable pin. So this pen is one of those that is friction erasable, so it comes with an eraser on the back. You also get the instructions. Now, one thing that I was kind of curious about was, is this the type of book that I have seen where you microwave it? And on the last little bit of instructions, it says, do not microwave this book. We make a product that you can microwave, but this is not that. So please do not microwave your Rocketbook. So let me draw a few notes in here and get the app up and running. Okay, so I've downloaded and installed the app and played around with it a little bit. Just kind of want to show you what I actually made in my notes. So I did a to-do list that's bulleted with a drawing at the bottom and this little squiggle. Then on the opposite side of that, I have some hashtags with a new note at the top, and that W is a little weird. Hi, I was trying to see if different fonts or anything would work, or maybe even some type of text formatting, like in some situations you could do asterisks to make something bold, or underscores to make something underline, that sort of thing. And then I did one more, which was large Alfred E. Newman, and then the Giz Wiz. So one thing I wanted to test was this is an erasable pin. So I wanted to see just how erasable this erasable pin is. It looks like it's pretty erasable.
Nice.
That's pretty awesome. That erased really well. The other thing is that you should be able to wipe off these pads. And they just say that you use the microfiber cloth and some water. This is just some normal old water here. And we'll try to wipe off the cat here. So yep, that was quick. Quick and easy. There you go. So very, very reusable to reuse that. So let's take a look at the app. Here's what, let me start off over here. This is sort of my history of everything. So the first note that I scanned was both notes. So I have the to-do list and this other page with all sort of the text. And then the other note that I did was the second one with Alfred E. Newman. So let me show you what it looks like to scan in a note. All you have to do is click New at the bottom, and then it will show your camera, and it will notice the QR code, and there you go. So now it is saved. And we go to next, and it asks what type of destination you want. Now, this is a really interesting feature that I didn't even realize was kind of going on. I signed up with Apple, and so it's added this privacy email to every single destination, but you can easily change each of these destinations. So you could have your Apple destination, or let's say the Bell destination, as Dropbox and Evernote, or as you can see, my Diamond destination has 2 emails listed. So I could send this to my entire study group, for example, or I could just send it to the regular email. So, you can choose one, we hit next, and it sends it off. Each of those destinations you can have different settings on it. So by the way, this is sort of like, okay, are you ready to send? This is that little thing I noticed, which is you get the 2 hashes, then your title hash. And so if I would have had any hashes in here, it would have renamed this RB blah, blah, blah to whatever I titled inside of it. And so let's let that send on, and you can kind of see that with my other note, the one that I did about Alfred E. Newman over here, this one had the Giz Wiz written inside of there. So if I look over here, you'll notice that it named it Giz Wiz correctly. So that's kind of nice that it was able to take this title that was inside of the note and apply it actually to the note. And one of the things I was kind of testing was like, does any type of formatting work? And it doesn't. But this will send, it will do optical image recognition, and it will send that along too. So here, let's go back to my destinations. So here's all you can edit your destinations. So let's edit the Apple here. And so I could turn on OCR transcriptions, turn that on, which would allow that to do that. I could do, auto send. I could do all those different things. We can also change the destination. So this is where we get all those different options to send. Under the email option, I can add multiple emails. So I could just keep adding emails if I wanted to. And so, that's how you can send it off to a ton of different places. So all in all, it looks really good. Whenever you send it, if it's not the optical image, transcribing, then it will come over as just an image. And then if you do have that on, it'll be in the body of the email, and you can change different options with that. So all in all, I'm really impressed with the app, and I am really impressed with the notepad also. One kind of nice thing is that there's little dots and stuff on the notepad itself, and those all sort of get deleted whenever it actually gets scanned into the app, is that all of those little dots are gone. And so I think that this is quite a handy little notepad. This pin isn't really anything special. You can buy these friction pins, just at any office supply store, and probably even any store that sells pins. So I think that this is a very convenient gadget. I'm really impressed with it. It ended up costing me only $16 for the small version of it. And I think that it is entirely useful. So that is it for the Rocketbook Mini. Back to you guys in the studio. So that's mostly it. One thing that I kind of failed to mention was I was trying to do some formatting stuff. Like one of the reasons I wrote high, super large, and like some of the other stuff was to see when it comes through on the email, if it like basically takes the handwritten text and like makes it into normal formatted text, and it doesn't really do that. It will take your text and make it into normal computer text, but it doesn't really keep any formatting at all. So it'll keep if hi is written really big, it'll put hi as in the email, but it's not going to be formatted in any different way than any other way. So in general, for people who really like to write on paper instead of keeping notes on their phone, or possibly you're in some situation where you need to take notes without a phone and then to transfer it digitally, this is a great resource and a really great thing to have. And I'm really shocked at how well it was all built, especially with the app and everything. So there you go, the Rocketbook Mini. And
now, since you can erase the pages, is it safe to assume you'll just buy the book once?
Basically, yeah. There's
okay.
Like here, let me look. After I erased that squiggle and the cat, there is a slight, and I mean very slight, impression from where the pen just wrote. But if I'm not looking for it, it seems like this is a fresh page, which is pretty impressive. And the fact that you can, instead of just using this tiny eraser to erase everything, the fact that you can take a wet cloth and wipe it.
Yep.
I was just able to erase this entire page here. And this cloth is
Those are the secret documents to our bookkeeping.
Right, exactly. No, the password to the file. Oh no. That's really impressive that you're able to erase the entire page without doing anything difficult.
Oh, yeah,
so that it's all gone. So I'm really impressed. $16 is more than a normal notebook, but it isn't in a realm that is expensive in my opinion. So I'm impressed with the Rocketbook, and this is the mini version, but they make all sorts of different styles. So there you go, the Rocketbook.
Yeah, I noticed Scooter X also said it had an awful lot of options available.
Yeah. And the destination thing was a little weird at first. I was like, why did you give me the email I signed up with 10 times? It's like, what is this feature? I just don't understand it. And the once you start getting to use it, having 10 quick, easy ways to quick fire out your stuff is pretty cool. That you're able to use the muffin option, and then that goes to your college stuff, and then if you use the diamond option, then it goes to your work people or whatever, or your personal email. It's kind of neat. Or Dropbox or Evernote, and it works with, as you saw, it works with all of those normal sort of digital note-taking apps as well. That's it for the Crappy Corner. Now let's head on to Dick's Gadget Warehouse.
They're geeky and they're goofy, together they are loopy. When gadgets pass away, he takes them out to play in Dick's Gadget Warehouse.
Okay, our warehouse video is from Steve Gross, first-time submitter of a gadget video, and he says, Dick and Chad, I love the show. I wanted to contribute in some way. Here is my first submission of a gadget demo. Wow, very techy.
Yeah. I'm like, does he make this?
Hi, my name is Steve, and today I'm going to talk about the Switchbot Bot. This small battery-powered device is basically a Wi-Fi cloud-enabled button pusher.
Huh.
Once installed, the Switchbot mechanically presses any rocker switch or on-off button with your voice or mobile app. Next up, I will demonstrate the installation and operation using the Switchbot app. Next is the installation. So I'm going to take a standard rocker switch that controls the light in my basement and add a Switchbot Bot. First, we'll remove the sticker.
It looks so much smaller than the Switch. Oh.
Place. And in my case, since this is a rocker, we need to add a second sticker, or right now, and fasten that to the switch. And there we have it. And now a quick demo of the Switchbot in action.
It turns it on. And it switches
can pull it.
It physically switches it.
And finally, the results of all my hard work. Voila.
Let there be
Back to you,
light.
Dick and Chad.
What a fancy video. Holy moly. That's great, Steve.
And Steve is in the chat room, and I did ask him, since it looks like the tape has to pull the switch back, has he had any trouble with that? And he said he's only used it for a short time, but it was a very sticky, I think, 3M product. So he doesn't think there's going to be a problem with it. And why are we seeing Japanese? It's $29.
Oh, yeah. It is. It does have a lot of Japanese characters on it.
Yes. Is that on Amazon? Is that where
Yeah, it is.
How bizarre. How bizarre.
Scooter X is going to find this on AliExpress, I'm sure, very soon.
Yeah, for like $11.
Right. That is so crazy that it physically switches buttons, and it looks like, they are really showing all sorts of different applications of just a light switch.
That.
I mean, they're really kind of showing this as like, it can do anything that you need.
Wow.
That is
so if you have a push button
interesting.
telephone and had 9 of these, it could dial a number.
Exactly. So yeah, you can save 10% with this coupon. So there you go. You got $3 off already. Works with the IFTTT. So if you're someone who wants home automation through IFTTT, you can do that.
We
really
have a ding in the
impressive.
chat room from a Scooter X with
He found
a
it.
link.
So
He found it.
So their version on Amazon was, how much was it? Whoops, this is the wrong thing.
$29.
$29 on Alibaba. Get out of here. It's going to be $2 different because it thinks that a new user, but about 12 to 20 bucks. Almost. I'm rounding up to 20. Here, let's see.
Okay.
Ships from China. Oh, there's 4. Oh, depending on where we choose, or if it comes from.
Oh, wait.
If it comes from Russia, it's cheaper. Yeah, let's ship it from Russia. Oh, cannot deliver to the United States. Oh, I see.
Oh.
There we go. Dang it! $2 shipping or $1.30 shipping. I like to round. I should have just said $1.26 shipping. It'll come next month, and there you go.
It'll be like $16, right?
That is so crazy. Just how just ever useful it is. It's like it can go on anything. I mean, it does not need to be a standard switch. It looks like it wouldn't work with a long switch. This looks like it works with one of those rocker switches, but I don't see this working with a
Just a click on off switch, right?
yeah, like you know what I'm talking about, and one with a long
Yeah. One of those
thing
big
on it.
clunky.
Yeah. The old school switches.
Sticky out switches.
Yeah. Switches that have the stick.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. I'm no switch expert here. Here, I'll just Google it, show you what I mean for those who are curious. Oh god, the Nintendo Switch is coming up.
Oh,
no,
that's so funny.
I need a light switch. That is so funny. This type.
There you
go.
There it is.
Seems like it'd be difficult with that type of switch. It needs more of a button. So that's crazy. That's really, really, really cool. Thank you so much for sending that video. What a well-produced video. That is awesome.
Thank you, Steven. Your Mad Magazine go out this week.
That is so cool. With that, let's move on to the letter.
Become the letters, your lovely letters. Become the Giz Wiz letters now.
A letter of the week is labeled subject challenge to Chad
Dun,
from
dun,
Paul
dun.
Grisbaum, Grisbaum. Am I getting this right? A couple of times I've heard Chad say he thinks using a powered razor with shaving cream is weird. I used to think the same thing until a friend of mine gave me one of these Gillette powered razors. After using it a couple of times, I really loved it. Loved it so much I'll never go back to a regular razor. I actually bought what? I bought a 3-year supply from Costco.
Oh.
I'm just wondering, has Chad ever really tried this razor?
Okay.
I have to admit, it may be purely psychological. The idea of using a powered razor with shaving cream did not appeal to me before I used it, but after using it a couple times, it changed my mind.
Okay. So what we're talking about is one of the, hopefully we're all on the same page, is one of these, like this Gillette Pro Glide.
Yes. And I too had one of them, and I thought it was wonderful. And then I couldn't find the right blades for it, so I went back to shaving with my regular old Gillette, and I didn't go back to that.
Yeah, you didn't bother. So the thing that and okay, granted, his accusation that I have never used one is true. That is true. And I will admit, I shouldn't knock it. If you're someone who uses one of these powered razors and you enjoy it, keep doing your thing. Like, don't let me stop you. But to defend myself, what I was thinking of was there was a class action lawsuit against these powered razors. So here's an article from Top Class Actions.
Oh my word.
And this was the M3 Power razors. And in particular, the thing that the lawsuit was about was that ads said that it raises or stimulates hair up and away from the skin, which it doesn't. So that is really my big issue with it, is that I remember the ads saying, the vibrations make the hairs,
okay.
stand on in away from your skin, and it gets the closest, most technology-enhanced shave ever. And then I just kind of felt burned that was a false claim and not true. But there is nothing, I am not insinuating that it doesn't make maybe the shave more comfortable for people, or, and you like it. So really
I brought that same document up here on my computer, and it turns out that each person suing is getting $1 million. It says, except
Whoa.
Paul Grissom, who by buying a 3-year supply
is negated.
is ineligible
Yes.
for the $1 million.
That was
Paul, you're having a great time with it.
Right.
Don't let the loss of $1 million.
Wait a
affect you
second. We have it on file. He said he enjoyed these razors, so
That's right.
he is exempt. That was a $7.5 million payout settlement, by the way. So
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if that matters in anything. But yes, if you are someone who has used these and likes them, like seriously, just keep using them and keep enjoying them. My only thing is that false advertising, it doesn't, and you'll notice, I spent a little bit of time right before the show looking through here, and there is no claim about that specifically, that, you know, the vibrations don't
I think they changed it to, it tickles your beard into giving up.
It says it does micro vibrations, and that's it, you know, which is true.
Oh,
That's what it does.
Okay.
So yeah, and Steve D is kind of reiterating what I think I said in a previous episode, which is they did it to sell Energizer because Energizer now is owned by Gillette, or Gillette owns Energizer, or they are both owned by the same company. I didn't follow, but yeah, it was a partnership to sell batteries.
Oh, you know, it's funny. Speaking of batteries, not Energizer, but their main competition, Duracell. I was hunting for some LR44s the other day, and down at the bottom of my battery box, I found Duracell Copper Top, guaranteed for 10 years, fresh until December 2024.
Whoa. Well, you need to get your guarantee back.
Look at those. Look at those.
Oh, man. Yeah, they started weeping.
Wow.
Weeping
They
battery
are
acid.
leaking bad, and they're still in a sealed package.
Yeah.
Duracell, what happened?
What do you do?
We're
Do you
talking
write
about
them?
the copper top. We're not talking about the bottom of the batteries. Bottom of the batteries always corrode.
How do you even think you get that back? Do you have to write them a letter and say?
You know what? I'm not even
Excuse
going
me.
to bother.
I think that's what they were planning on. Who's gonna?
Yeah, maybe
No.
they are.
We can just guarantee this.
Just FedEx those overnight to us.
Right.
Morning, 7 a.m. delivery.
You're gonna have
for
to ship those
$25.
to our headquarters in the middle of India. So, and it has to arrive here in the next 7 days. So yeah, you'll have to.
That's right.
It's only $130
And
shipping.
would you please send pictures of the thermometers in your house and humidity
Right.
for the past 6 years while you
Right.
stored these? And notarize them, please.
What do they call those rooms that they keep? Humidor. You didn't keep that in a humidor correctly?
Was that not kept in a bank vault where the temperature and humidity is climate controlled?
Yes. I think that we can all admit that. I haven't been keeping my batteries like a vintage wine. So you go. Thank you so much for the letter, Paul, and keep using that razor. Long story short.
Absolutely. And thanks for letting us have fun with that.
Right.
But by the way, we have to mention that we also looking for new videos. I think we have 2 more videos in the house. Okay. A video like Steven doesn't have to be elaborate like Steven's was. Any kind of a gadget, make a little video, 1 to 3 minutes. Okay. Just make sure we can hear you. Horizontal plane to shoot it in. Put it up on YouTube. There's a drop-down menu when you upload, and you can click unlisted. And that means that only people you send the URL to or that we use will be able to see the video. And mail it to mail@gizwiz.tv. And if you live in the U.S., you'll get the current issue of Mad Magazine, which I always put here. Oh, here it is. You'll get the current issue of Mad Magazine. I have 17 pages of old material in here. And if you live outside the U.S., I take one of those now 39-year-old Alfred E. Newman pictures. I will autograph it to you and send you a high-res image that you can print out anywhere else in the world. And from a foot away or so, it looks like the original. So mail@gizwiz.tv, anything to do with a gadget, 1 to 3 minutes.
Send it in. Hey, we want to say thank you to our patrons over at patreon.com/GizWiz. Thank you so much for your support of the show. Really, really, really appreciate you guys giving back and keeping us moving forward. Really, really appreciate it. If you like the Giz Wiz, please consider giving back. Patreon.com/GizWiz. You can also head to our website, gizwiz.tv. Click on the Patreon tab. There's a big old Patreon banner. Also on that page is a PayPal link. So if you want to give via PayPal instead of the Patreon platform, you can do that as well. However you give, we really, really, really appreciate you. So thank you so much for your support. Speaking of GizWiz.tv, that's where you can watch the show live just about every Thursday, 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern Time. That is where we are. So just head to the website and it will update with the main page there with what's going on. So there I am. Hi, Mom. You can also join the chat room, chat along with everybody, or you can subscribe, catch previous episodes, especially if we're not live. That's where you go for the latest and greatest from the Giz Wiz. Head on over to gizwiz.biz, that's Dickie D's website. He writes up fantastic articles about all of the gadgets that we cover on the show. So if you're ever curious about, hey, what did they talk about that one thing? Or where's the link so I can buy that? Head on over to gizwiz.biz. The search is right here underneath the Match Game logo. While you're there, play What the Heck Is It? It's the game show online that you can participate in. We love to make What the Heck Is It offshoots, but this is the official What the Heck Is It? And this is obvious to me that they, in the 90s, they had this craze of robo-dogs and robo-everything. Well, this was at the very end of that craze, the robo-octopus. With its 8 mechanical legs. So if you think you know what this is, get a guessing over at gizwiz.biz. 6 Mad magazines are up for grabs for correct answers. But if you don't know what it is, don't worry. You have double the chances because all you have to do is be clever, be funny, be hilarious, and tell us what you think that does. And there are 12 Mad magazines for those funny answers. 18 magazines up for grabs, so get a guessing over at gizwiz.biz. That about wraps it up for our show. We'll see you next week.
I'll be here.